Hello everybody, this is Randy Stifer here with ConservePhoto.com, and today we're starting something just a little different. We're going to be handing out Conservation Douchebag Award. Now understand, this isn't a personal attack. If it is for a person, they may be very nice people on an interpersonal level. I don't really care. This is an award for the fact that they just are an environmental nightmare waiting to happen, or that has already happened. And they're going to be going to individuals, companies, government organizations, pretty much anybody that does something that is not conservation minded. So with that, we give the inaugural award to Rand Paul. Here is a screen capture of Mr. Paul's website, and he is from the state of Kentucky. And in case you don't know who Mr. Rand Paul is, because, well, you've been living under a rock for the last 20 years, he is the senator from Kentucky, and he is a presidential candidate for 2016. Now, here is the reason why he gets the Douchebag Award. Last year, in 2014, Paul sponsored a bill called the Endangered Species Management Self-Determination Act. What this really should have been called was the Species Extinction Acceleration Act, and here's why. It would have automatically delisted animals after 5 years from the Endangered Species Act. Understand that animals take decades to recover when we've decimated their population, and they've been listed on the Endangered Species Act. He would give state governors the right to basically ignore the Endangered Species Act. These first two alone would mean that if this had always been the case, it would mean we would have no bison in this country. We would have no wolves in this country, no bald eagles, and no brown pelican, along with a lot of other animals. And third, he would take listing decisions out of the hands of science. Right now, there's a government agency with scientists who study animals, sustainability, and they make the decision as to which animals get listed and delisted. Instead, he would take that decision and give it to Congress. You remember Congress, right? 11% approval rating? Yeah, I don't think that's a very good idea. Also in 2014, Rand Paul said, "No one knows why the climate is changing." Bullshit, Rand. 97% of over 12,000 peer-reviewed scientific journals agree that man is the major cause of climate change. When referring to climate science, he said, "The science is not conclusive." I'd say 97% is pretty conclusive. He also called scientific warnings of consequences due to climate change alarmist stuff. Rand, you're a douchebag. If that's not enough, he's a libertarian. Therefore, that pretty much automatically makes him a conservation douchebag. Here's some of libertarians' beliefs that make them just not compatible with conservation. Everything should be owned privately by individual. This means no national parks, no national forests, no marine ecosystem protection areas like we have here in the Monterey Bay. He would just basically give it to private people and let them do whatever they wanted with it. There should be no restrictions on what owners can do with their property. As I just said, give it all away to people and then let them do whatever they wanted to it. He'd give Yosemite to Georgia Pacific and they'd cut all the redwoods down. And number 3, there should be no environmental regulations. This goes back to people should be able to own everything privately and do whatever they want with it. He would eliminate the EPA, the Clean Water Act, and the Endangered Species Act if he got the chance to do so. This is just simply part of the libertarian ideology. If you're a libertarian, you cannot be a conservationist. Period. End of discussion. Those two are incompatible. And finally, the League of Conservation Voters, the voice for conservation, gave Paul a lifetime voting score of 9%. It's kind of like if you took the SAT and the only thing you did right was spell your name correctly. So that was our very first Conservation Douchebag Award. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel for more, because I'm sure there's plenty of them out there to hand out. Until next time, have a great day, and get out there and enjoy some nature.